New podcast every Wednesday at lunch.
At launch. What's up, everybody? Depending on the time zones where you are, what time is it at you, Mike?
7 o'clock, 7 in the evening.
So it
But
may be afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are.
dinner.
Welcome back.
Let's get it, man. I'm so excited. I'm very bullish still. Every day I'm bullish, but today I got even bullisher. It's hard to comprehend, but
Even
we
more bullish, Mike? Please, inform
even more bullish. Today, so yesterday, kind of confused with the time zones, was this morning for me, and I think last night or last evening for you guys, there was the live stream of the Las Vegas event. So pretty much there is the Bitcoin conference. It happens every year, every now and then. It happened somewhere. Last edition was in Nashville. It was actually the edition where Trump was saying during the elections that he would purchase Bitcoin, that he would support Bitcoin. And in this edition, everybody who was part of the A team, everybody who's relevant in the game, GD Vance, Eric Trump, Donald Trump Jr., Cynthia Lummis, Vivek Ramaswamy, everyone and every party that owns the game pretty much, Michael Saylor, all these guys, they got together, went on the stage and started preaching Bitcoin. And when I say started preaching Bitcoin, they mean it. They're going for it. They are fully aware of where we are at the markets, and they are saying all the things you pretty much want to hear. So I'm
Did
bullish.
you check the whole live from that day?
I've only checked a few. So I've heard the last one, which was of Eric Trump, saying amazing things. He was on stage with the CEO of Rumble. Did you know that Rumble actually hosts Truth Social? So the social media platform where Trump posts on, they are
Oh, no.
actually hosting.
I didn't know this.
Something I heard about Rumble is that they will list or implement Bitcoin wallets on their platform in Q3 of this year. So, and many more parties. So, like, what was the
Yeah,
name?
X is also implementing some payments / crypto.
Some kind of e-commerce. I forgot the name, so it's now it's a stupid story. But a huge e-commerce party. They will implement Bitcoin wallets as well. So many parties are right now integrating the Bitcoin transactions. It's just bullish and bullish and bullish. People are screaming 500K targets. They explain so many things about the current regulations, the frameworks, the 3 acts that are on table now, the Genesis Act, the Bitcoin Act, and another one. It is insane. It is happening, guys. And one of the remarks I remember from Eric Trump was the following. He said that, for many years we have been saying and we have been speculating, when will they come? When will institutions come? But right now they're coming. So this is the first one, the first edition where it is no longer speculation. It is happening right in front of your eyes. And this is pretty much what you want from the industry, from the governments, from all parties related. So a lot of people from the White House were there, people from the House, people from the Senate. Of course, not everybody, but everybody that was pro crypto, pro Bitcoin, did their thing and said what they wanted to say. This includes also people from different states who are now saying that they will. That they are actually seeing a lot of people starting to mine in the US. They're saying that the US will be a Bitcoin superpower. Of course, these quotes aren't necessarily new to us. We've heard Trump say them, but to hear the entire industry and everybody we have been speaking about so fondly, Ian, for the last few months, maybe even years, where we said that these people will play a prominent role in Bitcoin, in regulations, in where we're going. Now they were all at the same day, at the same event, saying the things they have been promising, and they are delivering. So it is no longer just a promise. It is actually happening right in front of us.
It's crazy, man. And I didn't catch any of the Las Vegas event, so I'm just right now on X looking for all the things I missed.
I would just personally just listen to it. What I'm going to do, because one day is 9 hours. Just put it on during the day, like it's a radio. Just listen to it as you go. I got some quotes, and there are many quotes on X, of course. But I think there's so much value hidden in these days. It is insane.
Yeah, and I saw Peter Schiff. He's on the panel also. Peter Schiff.
The gold guy.
Yeah, we must say he was pretty bearish on Bitcoin, but I think his narrative has changed. No, like he could be pro Bitcoin.
He is an undercover hater, or well, not even undercover. He's pretty much hating on Bitcoin, but he now has his own reserve where people are able to send Bitcoin, to him. Which he will not sell, and he's doing it as like a way to be critical about Bitcoin, but still he is now owning Bitcoin. He is holding it, and I think it is quite funny to see, because gold has been outperformed by Bitcoin by a lot, like any other asset in the world. But something that was very interesting was something that Cynthia Lummis said, and Cynthia Lummis said that they are now looking for budget-neutral ways to purchase gold. This is not new to us, but it's just good to hear these things be repeated on the stage, right? And what they were saying was the following: she thinks, or is looking at ways to purchase Bitcoin by refinancing the gold, which has a value of the value of something like 1974 or something like this, which is $30 per bar, per kilo, whatever. But right now it's 3,000. So in a way, they're able to purchase Bitcoin through this method. It is just one suggestion of many, to purchase more. So I'm very excited about this, and I think it will happen. They have a long way to go, but they will buy Bitcoin.
Did they hint on when they start buying? I know it's next year,
yes.
Right? Like March or something.
So the thing is, they intend to buy 1 million over a period of 5 years. However, she said that they probably have around 200,000 Bitcoin right now. But she also said that they are not sure yet, and that she is about to have a classified meeting to see why it's classified, why they're not sharing it right now. So if I'm speculating, I think they don't have all 200,000 Bitcoin or have access to all 200,000 Bitcoin. It will probably be less. This is also some speculation happening for a long time on Bitcoin for a few months. People are speculating that they don't have the full 200,000 anymore. It might be sold. They might own half. Whatever it may be, it's probably a deviation from the 200,000. But let's assume they just have the 200,000 right now. They consider this the first year of buying. So over a period of 5 years, they want to purchase 1 million Bitcoin. This means 200,000 per year. But their first actual purchase will be next year, not this year. So this is very important information. I already shared it in the VIP as well. But this means that the actual buying of Bitcoin, which is bullish, which is what people are waiting for, which will enable other countries to start buying as well, won't happen this year. So this is a very critical piece of information to be aware of. And it also changes my strategy for this year as well. So
extended cycle.
We could see an extended cycle, but at the same time, we should be very aware of how the last quarter of this year, the last 3 months, look. Because I think up until this point, we're now halfway through 2025. Ian and you and I have been projecting and pretty much predicting how the markets would move perfectly up until now. But this is the first moment where I would say all previous analysis that we made for even 2-3 years ago, which have played out perfectly for Bitcoin up until this point, right now is the actual time to keep looking at what's happening in the markets, keep looking at the charts, keep looking at the developments, because right now it could go anywhere, So I'm still plotting different scenarios. I'm still very bullish. but I'm curious what will happen this last 6 months of this year, and if we will see an extended cycle, and if we see one, does it happen just for Bitcoin, or are altcoins involved at all? Because in a way, I think it might be smart to actually exit from altcoins anyway this year.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking also, right? I mean, if the US government is only going to buy Bitcoin, then why are we holding altcoins? So that's why also this year I'm very careful with calling new coins, new gems, because they have to prove themselves. And the market it's getting transitioned to a bit more matureness. So you want security instead of insecurity, and it could be nice the risk, but we want just security. Like, we know that BlackRock is gonna buy this, we know that they're gonna give it to their customers, or stuff like that. So in that case, I think with the information that we have right now, that we can, make a little bit more an uitgebreid plan. Right? You can make a better in-depth plan, because if the main focus is on Bitcoin, and we know that the US government is going to be buying Bitcoin starting next year, then we can work around that. But what I'm having issues with is Trump, because Trump, he has his own association, his fund. He had his own fund, but he's buying all these altcoins, and I'm like, okay, Mr. Trump, I see what you're doing.
World Liberty Finance, you're talking about, right?
Yes. So if let's rephrase. We know Trump is a pro-crypto guy. We know that his whole cabinet is pro-crypto.
His sons, everybody.
And we know that Bitcoin is gonna lead the way. So back to the point that the Bitcoin only run. Why is Trump and his World Liberty Finance buying all these altcoins if altcoins don't have the same future as Bitcoin? You know what I mean? Of course, Bitcoin is an asset of its own. It's in its own class. It's the father of the whole cryptocurrency space. But the digital realm, it will likely evolve, right? Like new projects, new organizations, new teams building. So do we really think that Bitcoin is going to be the sole survivor from this run? Or is the problem in the time, the skungust between the tops and the bottoms of these different assets?
Yeah, that's the main question that's on everybody's mind, and I've spoke about this in the VIP as well. So everybody is saying something differently right now. That's why I'm saying that the last half year of this year is very important, and you should do an analysis for yourself and not necessarily listen to everybody online, even us, because right now, previous years, everybody was on the same side. Bitcoin will go up, markets will go up, and they did. However, right now you will see a deviation. This guy will say that guy will say this, blah, blah, blah. It's all different. Personally, I think, and I'm very curious to see what will happen when Bitcoin goes to an actual all-time high. So I'm talking like 120K. Because if Bitcoin goes up in price, I do see a lot of reversals on many altcoins. But the question is, how much will they gain? I mean, if you look at the TARS AI, for example, it did a 6x already in last month. So in 1 or 2 months, it multiplied by 6. Other coins did pretty gains as well. So I'm talking about 2x or something. So I wouldn't say that it's over for altcoins. I'm actually seeing a slight reversal for most, but if I don't see a real pump happening at the end of this year, I'm exiting no matter what. No matter what the prices are, I will get out. I will take my profits. Of course, I had a wonderful strategy for the last year, so I'm still in profits. I took investments out. I took profits like everybody should do and should have done. But still, I'm positioned in altcoins. However, I did change. I went from about 10% in Bitcoin to about 33% in Bitcoin. So I'm already, going more on the Bitcoin side. Yeah, shifting a little bit. But that's just putting my money safe, because Bitcoin is the answer no matter what. The altcoins are there to get out of proportion gains compared to Bitcoin. But I do think that the Bitcoin will get scarce, and I also still believe that people underestimate Bitcoin by a lot. I'm still seeing these crazy targets. These are the people that don't look at the videos, don't look at these conferences, don't know what's happening in politics, don't know what's happening in the world. They simply don't understand. It's that simple.
Yeah, and it's if I would like to add on, because we get a crystal ball for in the future. What will happen is likely what happened in 2017, where Bitcoin, the price went so high, and it was not 2017. It wasn't scarce, but the price went high. It was low supply. But my point is, investors are gonna start thinking like, okay, wait a minute, Bitcoin's at 1 million. We need to find the next Bitcoin. Do you remember this in 2017?
Yes,
and
of course.
I think because DB has some ETF, some comment about the ETF, and I think that is going to trigger the investors to look for the new Bitcoin. Just exactly how it happened 7 years ago.
Yep.
Like, hey, you missed Bitcoin because all eyes are on Bitcoin. Nobody's talking about Chainlink or Ethereum, let's say Ethereum, or Avalanche or Ondo. And then suddenly something happens. Bitcoin's so high, investors start saying, hey, you missed Bitcoin. Why don't you look at Chainlink or Ondo or Avalanche? And that is, in my point of view, the extended super cycle, where these things go so parabolic. We have no real answer or reason for this. But I'd like to add that in this final phase of the system that is rigged and it's not working properly, it will be infiltrated with a lot of money. The real bubble will happen in the last phase where the system breaks. So I mentioned it like 2 years ago, I guess, or so. They have to print twice or 3 times as much as they did in COVID. They printed $7 trillion. They printed 40% of all the dollars in existence since the 1800s in 1 year alone. And I think for the last print, they have to print like 2 or 3 times that much. And this will have a extreme effect on assets, risk assets like crypto and stock markets.
Yep. I actually saw a tweet from a pretty unfamous guy, but I think his name was anonymous something on X, and he's part of the Luxo community, you know. So I follow him, and he was saying a tweet which I've used in one of my TikTok videos as well, and it stated something like, if you understand how the yield/bond curve actually works, then you know that quantitative easing is coming soon. And I also think that this is the case. So liquidity will be injected into the markets, and this will give stocks, this will give assets like Bitcoin, altcoins, a massive pump, you know. It would also kind of mean that we would be fucked in a way with inflation. It would also mean that you know, they have upside and disadvantages, of course, every time. But I do think that this is very interesting. However, to answer the question of DB as well, having ETFs on other coins will/can boost the price because it will be more interesting for investors. There is a thing with the ETFs, because whoever owns the ETFs necessarily doesn't mean that they are able to hop coins. Because if a certain altcoin doesn't have an ETF, then these coins will most likely not get any of the liquidity. So this is, and we spoke about this way back, of course, also, Ian, we predicted that many other altcoins will have their own ETFs. Now we're seeing them pretty much happen.
Before Bitcoin had its first ETF, must be mentioned.
Yep, of course. Visionaries, you know, we're always speaking 2 years ahead or something. But the thing is, we're now seeing that happening in real time. Many of the ETFs get requested. Many of the ETFs are actually getting through as well. So these altcoins, high cap or not, are most likely the cryptocurrency or the altcoins that Bitcoin profits will be put into, just like you said, at the end of 2017 or something. I remember perfectly well, because I think this was the moment where Ethereum or XRP actually flipped Ethereum for a month or a week or whatever, maybe a little short time. XRP went to like $3.50 or something, all the way from a cent. So this was like 350x if you hold bottom to top. I didn't. I think nobody did in this first altcoin cycle, especially inexperienced people like me who entered crypto for the first time. But this is very interesting to know, because Gert van Lage in his last live stream on Friday, he said that institutional investors will probably have the same mistake of entering the markets too late, because being an institutional investor does not necessarily mean that you know what you're doing. It doesn't mean that you understand the crypto markets. So they will probably experience a first cycle like everybody experienced the first cycle in crypto. They will get the mania, they will get the FOMO, they will buy the tops, and then the markets come crashing down. But during this crazy period, they will, of course, do the same things, but on ETF level. So a lot of the high cap crypto will probably experience something like we saw back in 2017. So this might be Chainlink. It probably is Ethereum, especially if they get the yield enabled, which is ongoing right now. Also BlackRock, who was preaching for this on the ETS, but this was a party that also was present at Las Vegas today or this week. So many bullish things are happening. But in the end, I do think that the ETFs are definitely boosting the price, and that they will have an impact on the markets.
See, that's a good point, because that's what I wanted to get in. We're talking about investors now. What about retail, right? I mean, crypto is for everybody. So either two things can happen. Either the floodgates really open with institutional investors and retail buyers buying, or we get enforced to not able to be buying crypto. It's either two, because what we see is a lot of legislation, documentation coming through. You must do this, this, this. In Europe, they have the MiCA regulation. But what if they, because that's what was my concerns for a long time also, what if the banks, the legislation gets approved, but you cannot buy, or let me say it different, you cannot swap your euros or dollars for Bitcoin anymore, because in the country you're in, they've approved this legislation that if you want to do this, you have to be a credit investor, for example. So if that's the case, then we're fucked. And yes, this is a scenario I see coming for Europe very soon in the totalitarian government. So stack them sats, man. That stacks them sats, man.
When you're saying then we are fucked, you mean the people who don't own Bitcoin yet?
Yes.
I imagine. Yes, of course. Yeah. But I want to answer Modin real quick, and then I get back to your point. But can't compare retail with institutionals. But I think you honestly can. But because when did institutionals really start buying? 100K plus. You know, of course they bought the dip, but right now you're seeing Bitcoin treasury companies starting to exist. Why are they doing that now? Because they had the chance. I mean, the spot ETF was live at 30K or something, way lower prices at least. It went up to maybe 50 when it launched, but they had the chance already. But right now, at all-time highs, when they see that the companies that are becoming Bitcoin treasury companies are going crazy, right now they have a rush. Michael Saylor has been doing this for almost 2 years, maybe even 3 years. He bought all the way down, back up, and now we're at all-time highs. And now they start to enter the market. So I think you are right in a way. There are two different markets, but I think they are inexperienced, because when you enter a crypto event and when you start talking with the people who have the big bucks, they don't know crypto. They are now looking to find some exposure. They always hold Bitcoin and maybe some Ethereum. They don't know about Chainlink. They don't know about Solana. Of course, you have the exception on the rule here and there, but they will make the same mistakes. They don't understand probably that Bitcoin has a halving every 4 years. They don't understand that Bitcoin actually has Bitcoin cycles, to name something. So I think you are right. They are smarter. They are more experienced, but they will get the FOMO as well, and they will probably make beginner mistakes in crypto. Honestly think due to the BlackRock ETS microstrategy bought some hype, but Bitcoin now has more validity due to BlackRock. Yes, of course.
MicroStrategy didn't buy the hype. I mean, Michael Saylor, he was
brought.
Oh, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just the white paper, man. I think Michael Saylor, he just opened his eyes because he was one of the biggest Bitcoin bears, haters out there. And suddenly in 2019 or 18, and Tony, I don't know, he suddenly shifted. Like, switch. Yo, guys, this is it. I don't care what you say. Shut the fuck up. Buy Bitcoin. And since that day, he's accrued like, what, 200, 300,000 Bitcoins?
He's at 550 or something now.
Oh my god, 550,000
he bought 80,000 Bitcoin the last 64 days. 65 now.
Oh, yo. And people still think this is going anywhere. Okay, guys. How's gold doing? For a gold investor?
Yeah, it will work. It is a guaranteed success. But to get back to your point as well, where you think that some countries or continents might lock out investors from actually purchasing Bitcoin, of course they will do it, and especially Europe. You're absolutely right in this, because Europe is the last corruption that's left, and quite honestly, the world is a terrible place, especially when you look at things that are happening in Africa right now, or the corruption that was taking place in America. But Europe is the worst. Because if you go to corrupt countries, they are corrupt. You know that with cash money you can get favors, you can get things done. It is not a secret. It is just the way it is, But in Europe, it's the worst kind of corruption. It's the one where they pretend it doesn't exist. It's the one where they lie to your face and do something else and stab you in the back. Laugh at you, say that you're crazy, debank you, censor you, remove your credibility, make you fight with your own friends and family, use propaganda on everybody. It is the worst kind. It is honestly the worst kind of corruption there is. And if you actually understand how the Europe Commission works, you will understand that it's the biggest fraud ever. And the people who pretty much make the laws and decide what's happening, you cannot vote on them. They are not elected. They are there. It is in a way it is a dictatorship, and they have these people who are actually elected and put there, but they cannot actually make laws. They can only give their opinion about what is happening by this dictatorship, So it is the worst kind of corruption, but because they are so corrupt, they will fight this till the bitter end. So they will, the Bitcoin is the answer. If you understand Bitcoin if you really understand it, you will understand that it's more than financial freedom. You will understand that this is freedom as a whole. Of course, they are the mafia. They are literally the mafia. It is insane, and people are so indoctrinated that they don't understand that this is happening to them, because all these processes and institutions are made very complex. So people don't understand, which is done on purpose. Of course, it's all strategy. Question makes will MiCAR play a role? Of course it will play a role, but this is one of the few things that Europe actually did well in regards to crypto. But it's also because I think they wanted control quickly, and they decided to go a different path than the US, because the US was doing what's the word? Enforcement by fighting them. What's the word? The SEC did something, they just sued everybody instead of
law enforcement.
Instead of giving clear regulatory framework. So Europe did a different route. They pretty much did the regulations relatively quickly, still slow, but they got them done. They will expand on them, but only because they are now working on their own central banking digital currency.
Exactly.
This is the only reason why they are going forward with this. They will use blockchain against you. They will roll it out probably in the next 5 months as well, within less than 5 months. And it is just used against you. Also, when you take a look at what's part of the MiCA, so the markets in crypto assets regulations, you will see that they're just there for control. If by chance I removed everything from Finst yesterday or the day before, because now if you want to move money around or crypto around, you actually have to sign your wallet, prove that it is actually you, and they don't even have the feature that you can send it to a different exchange. So I canceled it altogether. I didn't really use it anyway, but still I removed the little money I had on there for my Bitcoin DCA strategy. Got it away and send it to Bybit. You still have the rules there, but at least you have the more freedom than Finst. But these are just rules for control, rules to
know who got what. Like, hey, how much you got? You got too much, you're getting banned. You got too little, you need to pay more. It's simple as that. Don't make it complicated, people. It's just simple as that. Why? Because the EU, they got a spending problem. They want to finance wars. But then I was thinking, okay, but what about the climate, right? I mean, we're building all these warmongering factories, but the climate, what about the CO and all this carbon neutral stuff? Suddenly it's not important. So okay. But Mike, some other topic. Did you know that the ECB, the Christine Lagarde, she went on some spotlight or so, I don't know, but she said that she wants to make the euro, just like the dollar, a world reserve currency. They want to replace the dollar with euro as the world reserve currency. What is the issue with this, Mike?
Major issues, but I think that the biggest issue is that I don't know. There are many issues, but what do you think? Because I think that there are multiple answers for this, because in a way the dollar is already losing its position, because many countries around the world are now using their own currencies or cryptocurrencies. This is why the Genesis Act is very important as well. But I don't. They will actually make the euro. Can they at all?
That's another question. They want to, but why? To take control of our destiny. That's what they say. It only requires remaining pillars, defense, union, completing the capital market. But my issue is with this problem.
It is crazy because they don't have the defense, they don't have the military to back it up.
They don't have resources, they have nothing. So how will they rebalance this deficit? I mean, what is the issue, guys? If you look at America, the number one product that they export are their dollars, yes? The dollars, nobody wants the dollars anymore. So what happens? The dollar is using its value because China is sending the dollars back. Japan is sending the dollars back from the treasuries. They don't want it.
And this is also why we didn't actually get an all-time high. Even though it's represented in numbers, it is not the same. We need to go to like 115 or whatever, even higher.
So now the ECB wants to play the same role as what the dollar had in the world that we know it before. But then I have myself the questions like, how are they going to do this? I mean, what is going through the economic advisor's head / mind to say, maybe, guys, we should replace the US dollar with the euro? I mean, what is going through your mind? Don't you know the problems that euro has? Simple problem. The how do you call it? The corona debt. There's a big topic in the EU because a lot of countries they could loan some nice billions. They don't have to repay it back or refinance it, but it's gonna come in 2 years.
It is the same shit like we had in what was it? Spain, Portugal, something like this. Italy, I don't know, some warm, comfortable country at least. they lent so much money. All their banks fucking collapsed. Never paid them back.
Nobody's working. No one has resources. So that's, guys, my point is the EU, and I should watch my mouth, but fuck it. The EU is going to be a third world country within the next 10 years.
Of course.
No,
of
no, no.
course.
It's
Greece. Yeah, Greece.
It's not really, but at the rate that
It
we're
will be for
going,
sure. It will be for sure.
yes, but
No doubt in my mind, Ian.
yes,
It
I
is
know. But when
already.
I say this on the streets, I get people mad at me because, yo, how can you say this? I got my children here, I got my family here, I got my business here. But yo, don't be mad at me. Be mad at yourself. Be mad at your government for not taking the right actions to make sure that this shit doesn't happen. But anyway, yes, it's nobody's working. I think the EU will become the most totalitarian government there is in the world. And it's funny because they blame Russia and China for this, right? They should not point the finger. Look as those totalitarian, how do you call those people? Dictators. But yo, you are the real dictator. Who is Zelensky? Why is he still the president of Ukraine? He wants to kill Putin? Huh, wait a minute, what's going on? Needs more money? He's getting fucked in the ass? Yo, what's up? Okay, I'm just getting my name.
Yep. No, but you are absolutely right. And Europe is falling very fast. And Van der Haas is also saying they said openly they want to transform to a military economy. And with the new plans in NL, they go fast in the direction they can. You are absolutely right, but they will never achieve this. Also, this is, I think, the reason why the United States is spending a lot more on their military as well. This is why, because the reason they are increasing their military is also because of the demands of Trump. So he said that everybody should raise their military spending to 5%, which is a lot more than the initial 2%. Yes, I did, Michael. And the thing is, this is insane because the 2% wasn't even achieved by most European countries. This is also why they're getting fucked, really, honestly. This is why they have no chance against Russia. And don't forget that all this is just a way to continue the war at a later point, because the Russia-Ukraine war is so important. People really don't understand. Something we didn't see on the news, I heard, is that they tried to kill Putin with a drone strike at his helicopter. You probably don't know this. This is the reason why he's firing rockets right now far into Ukraine. But I would as well if someone tried to take me out with a fucking drone. So really can't blame him there. I'm not saying that it's a good thing either way, but it sets us back immensely, which is terrible, because I was hoping for the war to finally end, but probably won't happen, which is sad. Modin is saying Euro won't be a dollar substitute until oil can be paid in Euro. USD currency don't has any backing except oil. It's not true. It isn't even backed by oil. Perhaps, yeah, you do need to purchase oil with dollars, but it isn't backed by it, which used to be the case, right, with the petrol dollar. Now BRICS is busy, so when oil can be sold in other currencies, yes, you are absolutely right. And they probably won't be able to stop this. However, Trump is trying in a way. So that's it. Ken, welcome. So they can justify their defense spending because Putin is again the aggressor. Yes.
Sorry, guys.
Right.
But technical issues. But Mike, I see you guys talking about how the euro can be this world reserve currency. Please open the link I just sent you. And they say it could be possible that the euro could be a world reserve currency if you put it on 3 pillars, something defense spending. I don't know. I checked it real quick.
Do I need to scroll, or what are we checking?
We can check the conclusion if you want.
Okay.
This is the conclusion. Let me conclude. It's all the way down. You're not sharing your screen, by the way.
I am. Oh, no. Sorry, wrong screen.
This is a prime opportunity for Europe to take greater control of its own destiny.
But it is there, no?
Privilege. No. Yeah, it is. Yes, but in this document, if you go all the way to the top, they describe everything about how and why the EU is thinking about plotting the euro as the world reserve currency.
President of ECB at an event on Europe's role in fragmented world organized by Jacques Delors Center at Hertie School in Berlin, Germany. Okay, so this is quite recent as well, 2 days ago.
No, so everybody wondering how is the euro going to be a world reserve currency? In this article, they talk about how they want to do it. But you need 3 pillars, is what it's about. Something about defense. That's why they want to rearm Europe, like 1.2 trillion euros they want to spend or invest in the defense systems of Europe, and a lot of stuff.
Trade and military power are important for establishing demand for international currency. I think we will enter such a crazy World War III eventually. It is insane. And also, I think that a lot of economies, they are about to collapse, and insanely. I have so many people I'm talking to, or who are my friends or whatever, who are currently on the markets to purchase a house or to buy something. It is, I think it is a terrible moment in time, because I estimate that we will see such a crazy collapse, a true depression, which we are talking about for a long time as well, which is coming. It is coming very soon. I think 2026, 2027 max. And then we will see the most insane depression ever. Houses will collapse, markets will collapse, banks will collapse. It will be way worse than 2008. It is still on its way. Insane. It is insane.
It's gonna be crazy, man.
Yeah,
but we're prepared for this. We got some Bitcoin, we got some altcoins, in the hope that these would recover sooner than everything or any other asset in the market.
Yep, but I wouldn't bet on the altcoins. It kind of depends on when. But if I have Bitcoin only, I might sell some or hold some fiat to purchase altcoins somewhere 2027, maybe end of 2026. Kind of depends. I have an analysis somewhere. I will check it. But this will probably be the period where I start to buy it, because I'm kind of hoping that the crash will align the following. I will just share my analysis real quick. Why not? Share screen. So this is the OG chart. So I'm thinking somewhere in 2026, we will probably see the bottom, I think, October 2026 or 6 months later, you know? So let me just put this at the monthly time frame real quick. So November, December, January, February, March, April. I think somewhere between April 2027 and what I said before, October, I think 2026. Yeah. I think that's the moment where I start to buy altcoins. And if the major crash, the whatever happens in that period of time, I would be very, very rich. I'm sure it would be insane how much money I would have and own, because this would be the perfect opportunity.
You could double down, right? I mean, if you see the collapse coming, you see it for coming. Okay, you can act accordingly. And let's say you got 1 Bitcoin, you could make it to 2-3 Bitcoins. Bitcoin goes back to all-time high maybe 6 months after. You're suddenly a multi-millionaire, man.
Yep, instantly. And the crazy thing is, the longer you hold the Bitcoin, the more rich you will get. Because if you own a certain amount of Bitcoin, you will never have to work a single day of your life. I think it's already at 5 Bitcoin or something, you know? So if you own 5 Bitcoin right now, you will never, ever have to work another day of your life. And you can even start today. So find the strategies where you can borrow against your assets and put your money to work, or buy more Bitcoin, you know? Because that's in a way putting your money to work as well. Europe also wants to compete with the US ETF markets in the near future. For Bitcoin, doesn't really make sense, because in Europe, the Bitcoin ETFs already existed, but they were called ETPs, because in Europe, it's only one asset. An ETF has to hold multiple assets. So don't think that this will happen.
No, but it's also different, right? Because what BlackRock's is so specific about BlackRock and their ETF, it has a spot ETF. So For BlackRock to issue it to their clients, they have to hold the Bitcoin.
Yes.
And for other ETFs, this is not the case. It's the paper-backed Bitcoin, so it's Fugazi.
Yes,
See a lot of people on TikTok and Instagram
also
talking
true
about this. Big difference, guys. Big difference.
Yep, major difference. That's very true. But what if the crash happened? Do I need to make myself a worry now with my own house? Because what will be the impact if the house market collapsed? I think I don't want to scare you, but I think you'll see something similar happening to 2008, because you have to realize that we entered multiple crisis periods in the economy where they just started printing, and we're now at the point in history where it's make or break. So if the US government doesn't close their debt, which they might are able to do so because of Bitcoin, which will be very bullish for Bitcoin, but less so for anybody else in the world, it will be an insane problem, because multiple banks will collapse, your money will be inflated by a lot. It will be such a crazy period in time. So if I actually owned a house, I would really consider selling it right now. I don't have a house, so I'm not selling one, but I would personally do it, and then move away abroad, which I did anyway. But I think that the crash of COVID, where so many companies went bankrupt, where so many banks also collapsed. Don't forget Silvergate and all these kind of parties who already collapsed them with more money than most banks collapsed in 2008, but they kind of swept it under the rug. They tried to pretend nothing is happening. They gave stimulus checks,
bailouts.
They did so many things, but you still need to feel the effect of the COVID period. And don't forget that we're now seeing those things happen in real time. That's the problem with the yield bond curve as well, right? And that's something that Gert van Lagen showed as well. So I really suggest you checking out the podcast of last Friday. But he is saying that most likely we are already in a recession right now. And I think that he is not necessarily wrong, but it will happen very soon. If this starts to happen and banks starts to collapse and people lose their jobs and money get inflated, so things get more expensive, people are already at their credit card all-time high debts. I have been in debt before. I went bankrupt with my company. I was able to make it work for a long time. Don't get me wrong. I had minus 60,000 euro, but I was able to survive and thrive. But I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a hustler. I'm a G. I'm a real motherfucking go-getter. So, of course, I got wealthy again. But if you have a regular job, you're fucked. You will never get out. You would still be paying off your debt right now. And most people are like that. They have a regular job. They have no additional form of income. They own no Bitcoin. They have no escape route. They have no chance of getting out. They will get fucked on, get fucked on, get fucked. They will not be able to pay their mortgage. They will lose their houses. The markets will crash insanely. It is crazy. So I think I would not necessarily worry yourself with your own house, but I would assume that the value will go down over the next 5 years at least. And don't forget that this is all part of their plan as well. You will own nothing and you will be happy. They don't want you to hold assets. And if you continue to hold your assets, you will start paying insane tax over them anyway in the Netherlands, which is a development that's going on as well. So everyone owning a house right now will be fucked either way, because it will become so expensive that you might actually have to sell your house, crash happening or not, just to pay your taxes. So people will get fucked either way,
So what Mike's trying to say here, people, is that if you have a surplus value on your house, take it from the bank, buy Bitcoin, and chill the fuck out. That's what he's trying to say. I mean, if you have a house, right, and you got a surplus.
Yep. Luxaflex is saying, nice name, by the way, not happening in my opinion. Stockpile drying up. What do you mean by stockpile? More people coming in the West from non-West countries. Yes, stockpiles drying up. Are you saying available houses, or what are you saying? People who own a house will be divided by who don't own a house. Yes, but the no supply of new houses. Yes, of course. This is a problem. It is fake scarcity. Not really fake scarcity, but it goes to the wrong people. The new supply, of course.
But it is fake, right? Because people who own a house will be divided by who don't own a house. But the current situation that we have right now is that people from outside, they get higher priority than us, the taxpayers, to own a house.
Okay,
they get the house for free. So anyway.
I think I understand this point. You're saying there are less houses than people in the Netherlands, and also people coming to the Netherlands. I think this is the point you're trying to make. So supply and demand, right? You're absolutely right. However, you have to realize that the mortgage prices and the rent prices people are paying right now is way more than 25% of their income. So it's unhealthy. This combined with the fact that people simply are in debt, are loaning a lot, which is real data. You can look this up. This is not something we're guessing or whatever. People are behind on payments. We will get a situation like 2008. And don't forget inflation. Inflation hit people hard. People actually are not able to pay their rent. And people, when they are buying a house, they are what's the word, like overbidding. That's the wrong word. Overbidding way above the current prices of the market just to get a house, which they can't really afford. So this will be a problem. It's not necessary, because if people can't pay their house, it doesn't matter that there are not enough houses, because houses that are not being paid will create a crisis. And this will create a snowball effect of people getting in debt, not having jobs, not able to pay their groceries, not able to lose their houses, basically. So this, in combination with the non-Western people coming to the West, basically, just fucks the civilian as well, because people are getting raped, people are getting robbed. They pretty much get a free house in return, like Ian is saying. We are losing our country, and this is why I left, because they will not fix it on the short term. But combine this with the fact that people have no money and are losing their houses, it will be a third world country. This is what we said it on the beginning. This is just a logical following of trend. And what will happen to your house if your neighbors can't afford them, if they start breaking down, if people from fucking asielzoekerscentrums are put as your neighbors, your value will go down, because no one wants to live there anymore. And currently in Japan, I'm in quite a terrible neighborhood. It does nothing to the vibe. I'm really counting down the days to go away from here, go back to the beach, sit with my laptop in great weather and a nice environment, because it just destroys it. Shops will close down because people are not able to purchase this. And this is the effect that will happen. And this is not something we're thinking. No, we can actually see the data that we're going into this direction.
Real life.
So you're right. There's supply and demand, but it doesn't weigh up to the fact that people will go wrecked.
Simple as that, man.
But could I use my crypto to pay off my debt at that time? I would use your debt to purchase more Bitcoin. I would do it the other way around. Don't get rid of your debt. Why would you?
No, don't get rid of your crypto to pay off your debt. Get more debt to buy more crypto.
Facts. There are corporate buyers lining up to split houses into apartments.
Facts.
Yeah, but this is all irrelevant. Because
wait, because I'm a little bit in the ball, right? So what do we think happens when, let's say, some asielzoekers come in and your property, the mortgage or the house, sorry, somebody's busy outside. The property goes down in value. If you or if you cannot pay the mortgage anymore, the government just buys this up. And what they're gonna do with this house / apartment building or whatever? They're gonna put new or other un-Western people in it, right? Some asylum, some people who are fleeing. So you are literally being replaced, you as a working citizen, paying tax, doing your best to do what you can, to get out of the house. We're going to replace it with immigrants who don't work. They get free money, free housing, everything. And this is going to happen on a whole scale in Europe. So is it the issue if I don't own a house? Because if you own a house in 2027, let's say, it's going to cost you more than owning not a house. So if you know that this is happening and it's coming our way, the choices are simple. A, either one, get out, or B, have some assets that could enrich you when this thing happens.
Luxaflex is saying, the thing is, as long as you've locked in your mortgage rates at 1 to 2% for the next 20, 30 years, but most people don't, especially the people who recently purchased their houses, because the rates went all the way to 6% or something.
7-8%.
So they are paying way more than what you're saying. And don't forget that if you don't have the money, they're fucked either way. So the rates you're talking about, it might be a different story, but don't forget that people are in debt. They don't understand what these rates are doing. And don't forget that the tax they will have to start paying in 2027 or something on their value of their house will eat them up. So even though if their interest rate doesn't eat them up, the taxes will eat them up. They will get fucked either way, you know.
Either way.
I earn like 28 netto, pay like 600 netto mortgage.
Yeah, but so when did you do this? When did you do this? I'm pretty sure you did it before 2021, let's say, or 2020.
Of course.
Right? I mean, obvious.
Way before him. But either way, of course, there are people like you who might be able to survive, who earn enough money, who have a good deal. But you are an exception on the rule. If we look at the data, this is not the case for most Dutch people. It's that simple. So you might be safe, and I'm happy for you, honestly. You might be safe longer, but the banks will collapse. Inflation will get worse. It was worse for a long period of time. Debt, personal debt is at all-time highs. People are behind on payments. It will crash. It will come down. It will come down. It's not even a question. It's just a question of when will it come down, but it will come down for sure. And I estimate somewhere in the next 2 years. Is there something else you would like to add, Ian, or shall we call it a day?
I was looking for an article where there was some research done where it said 1 of the 5 citizens of the Netherlands has like 50,000 deposited in their savings, right? Something like that. I'm searching for it, but that is why the Netherlands is the best kid of the class, right? For the WHO, because we have all this money in our pension funds, and they want to take it. Sorry, my mind was something else. Sorry, I was walking it off. I have nothing else to add. Only the last thing, that is the doofpot, which FVD and Gideon van der Meyen, something about the corona commissie, where they wanted some people to held accountable, like Hugo de Jonge, Mark Rutte, Fleur Agema, I think. And the commission just said, no, we cannot do that. Where he is like, oh, that's strange, because I thought that we could recall upon everybody. So he just steps out of it, because little did he know, tada, the Netherlands is just one big ass doofpot. Stay safe, man, guys. It's really crazy, because the heer Achboon, he's busy with Mark Rutte also, like bringing him for the court. So we're living in crazy times, man. If you're in the Netherlands and in the EU, stay safe, be blessed, do what you do to be staying alive. But stack them sets, man. I think that's the best way to be prepared for what's coming in the upcoming years, to all this turbulence.
Facts. Van der Hagen is still saying mortgage rates will follow ECB rate that will sustain the housing prices.
Yep.
No, it will not happen, because you have to realize that if people are not able to pay their mortgage anymore, it will crash and people will lose their jobs. It is a domino cycle, you know.
Yes.
It is once one domino falls, the others, they don't matter anymore. And of course, because the housing prices, trust me, if people lose their houses, if people can't afford their mortgage anymore, the prices will come down. It's that simple. And in fact, I think some of the prices are already coming down a little bit right now. So I think this trend will continue to go on. And that's why, especially now, I think you're stupid if you're buying a house right now. If you already purchased one, then of course you have one. There's nothing wrong with it. And I wouldn't per se sell my house now or something, you know. I would consider it, perhaps, but I understand people have families, blah, blah, blah. I understand it, but
always choose security, right? Above risk.
Yep. But I do think that this will play out. But who knows? We will all see, you know, because we can agree to disagree. And I am right now in Japan, but I'm traveling the world, so it doesn't really matter. Anything else, Ian?
I think that's it, right? Did we talk about the Bitcoin price? I don't think we did.
No, not really, but it's at 108 right now. 108 something, probably. Yeah, 108.8. Good price, I think. Yeah,
it should hold, right? It should hold the 107. When I'm looking at the chart, we click 107, 105. I think if it just holds that level, it's a confirmation that, hey, we tested down here, but we want to go up there. So what's happening, man? So
I'm still seeing bullish momentum. I'm very bullish about the events. Not really much to say, because I think it is clear, you know. I'm still kind of worried about people who say that 120 will be the top. But at the same time, we must see an increase real quick. Because if price doesn't surge end of July, I will get worried. But I will stay in the markets until August, November, something like this. And then I will decide. So that's exactly what I said at the start. Right now is the moment to actually focus on the charts, focus on the markets. And thank you for your opinion and the conversation as well, Van der Hazen, everybody in chat. It's really more fun when we engage. So I always invite all of you to ask questions and drop comments. What do you guys think of RWAs, and especially real estate RWAs? Well, a news update for XRP lovers, because Dubai decided to list a multi-trillion real estate market on the XRP ledger. So that's great for XRP holders. If you're looking at prop chain right now, it's from the Mr. Finance guy, right? What's his name? Forgot his real name, but Dutch guy as well. I was looking at similar charts. Price is still relatively low, so I understand why you're looking at those charts right now. I did see a few RWA charts go up. It is lagging a little bit from AI. Robin Ubach, okay. I think this is the future. But right now we're all kind of worried what the altcoins are doing. But I do think that RWAs, especially real estate RWAs, are a proper bet right now. I think we will see many updates on the short term. But at the same time, specific projects like prop chain, it is kind of the question of will they succeed? Because if you are able to purchase real estate on the XRP ledger for $500 already, why would you use these kind of projects? So what are they doing right now? How is the hype? How is the community? These things are very important. However, I do think that he's doing a proper job, and it kind of performed last year already. So I think it's not a terrible project, but proceed cautiously, you know, like any other altcoin. What do you think?
It's crazy because how do you know that with the technical difficulties that this chain has the authority to give you this land? Because is it government approved? Is it the regulatory also accepted? You know, stuff like that. And for prop chain, I don't know about this, but I do know that Rio, Maple, Ondo, they have all these partnerships, certified connections. So yeah, it's for me it's difficult. Like I said in the beginning, security above of risk, because you want security. We know that they're gonna use this. It would be nice if they're gonna use that, but it's not certain that they would use it. So in that case, I see a big future for RWA, but I would stick to the no-brainers, man. That's Ondo. And if Ondo's gonna pull, I would check Centrifuge. CFG is a ticker. Did a crazy pump, but nogmaals, not financial advice. I don't know which chains are going to go, but Rio, they are certified by the US government to do some things, same as Maple, Ondo, and CFG. That's what I know.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you want to see more. Subscribe so you see us next week, Wednesday, 12 p.m. every week. Love, and I'll see you guys next time.
Stay safe, stay blessed, and we'll see you next time. Ciao.
If I do crypto, this ain't gambling.